Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome everyone to the Dads for Truth. Now it was Truth Crusade. Just a reminder, we have changed our name. We felt like it was a little bit cooler to have real dads talking about real stuff. So this is
Yeah.
really where truth and honesty meet false narratives and the disingenuous. We're gonna fight against that. All we want is honest conversation and no spin. So welcome, John. I'm Ray. Hopefully you're doing
All
well,
right.
Mr. John.
I am doing wonderful, Mr. Ray.
All right.
Good to see you, sir, as always.
Temps, weather's good, and spring is almost here, so
Oh
pretty
my
darn
gosh, I
nice.
left work and I could see. I walked I drove out of the parking lot and I was like, wow, I could see. What the heck?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
it was daytime.
It's interesting how when we go from light to dark and we get out of work at 5 o'clock and it's dark outside, how everybody's driving habits change immediately. It's so
Oh my
strange.
gosh.
It's so strange.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though. I really enjoy like the overcast weather. You know what I mean? It's
No,
kind of
it's
a
nice
thing.
to have that. I mean, it's I sit in the backyard and smoke a cigar and have a beer and man, pretty comfortable.
It
Uh,
is.
birds going in the background and so
Just
great.
relaxing, huh?
Oh, it is. It is. It's what us dads do, right?
That's what we do.
What we do.
We,
We drink beers. We're sit in the backyard and contemplate life. So,
yes.
so you got two videos for me. I know you already sent them over. And I did a preview only because, like I said, they were super interesting and weren't really long. So I thought, I'd take a look at them. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this screen shared here and let's take a look at what we got. First one, can you see, John?
I see it.
First one is it says Washoe County Commission meeting opens with invocation by Reno Satanic. I wanted to read everybody because I wanted everybody to know what invocation was and why it's so important here. So invocation is a couple different definitions, but one of them is the summoning of a deity or the supernatural. For example, his invocation of the ancient mystical powers, the action of invoking someone or something for assistance or as an authority. So there you go. So here we go.
We'll now move into the invocation. Today we have Mr. Jason Miller. Come on up.
Thank you for letting us here. My name is Jason. I am an organizer and founder of Reno Satanic, and I am here to give the invocation today. Let us begin. In nomine de nostris Satanis Luciferi Excelsi, in the name of the eternal rebel against tyrannical authority, in the spirit of your nature of the natural world, the freedoms of thought and expression, unprejudiced intellectual inquiry, economics and social progress, to bring influence and guiding actions of nobility and justice to the decisions made in this chamber today, to act with might in the undertaking of responsibility that may lay ahead of this body before us today. The new age is dawning that these decisions will play a role in. For our liberation, for here and now is our day of joy. Here and now is our opportunity. May we seize this glorious day and its enchanting nights to celebrate the wonders of the natural world as we are all part of its boundless mysteries. In the spirit of the unconquerable sun, the bringer of light and knowledge, we say, Shemham Farash, hail Satan.
Okay. Madam Clerk.
Wow. See,
All right.
watching it a second time blew my mind. I noticed two things right off the bat.
All right.
So if you see the guy in the background, you see some of the reaction of some of the people.
Yes.
Now I didn't watch it to the very end. I didn't realize till the end that it says "Hail Satan." Now, two thoughts come to mind. Number one, again, the reaction. You can see the guy in the background, lady. You're like, "What the heck is this dude saying?" We obviously have a free speech clause in our Constitution, so it's one of those things that we have to decide. I think obviously this wouldn't probably fly 25 years ago. But what he and his group are going to flame immediately is that we have the free speech right to do that. And he's not wrong if he says that. I think the issue is that we probably, you look at the verbiage. I don't know if everybody actually listened to that. It's talking about invoking Satan and Satan's powers over the authority of a government, right? Which is crazy. So he's basically telling them in their public forum that Satan is here to challenge your authority, and then hail Satan at the end, right? So, I mean,
All right, so I know, see, I
absorb a
can
lot.
tell that this has got you like you almost don't know what to say. And this is good. Okay, so let's pretend.
Shame on us for allowing, I think, that to slowly creep into our public domain, but I'll let you go ahead.
All right, so I got a few questions. So you and I are both Christians, okay? Let's put that aside for a second. Jesus, forgive me for saying that, but okay, but let's just pretend, because there's going to be people listening and watching us that aren't Christians, okay? Let's put that aside. What do you think, apart from the obvious spiritual issues, what do you think how does this pose a problem even apart from that?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because if you look, let's say you're a commissioner and you're a first-time commissioner and you're swearing into office, right?
Yes.
What do you put your hand on? You put your hand on the Bible and you're sworn in.
Yes.
Bible. So I think, and of course, I don't know what these councilmen are thinking if they're saying, well, if we don't let this person do it, will we have a lawsuit? But it's interesting, like I said, that they swear on the Bible when they're actually sworn into office.
Yes.
And they're accepting this. I don't know if they knew exactly what he was going to say, and I'm not in defense of them, but I'm curious if they all knew. Now, the interesting thing is, at the end, if you see the female looks like the council, the lead, the mayor. I don't know if she's the mayor of Reno or not, but she seems to almost be excited a little bit, like, "Oh, this was special. This was great," which disgusts me, because it's one thing not to allow free speech. It's another to be supportive of something that has its roots in evil, right? It has you now.
Okay, that's
door evil.
And that is okay. That's where I was going for. Okay, so for a person who doesn't go to church, even for a person who isn't a Bible person, the fact that the whole movement is rooted in a figure who's the very personification of evil is concerning. We're not. This isn't a Bible study per se, so I'm not going to go into all of that. But the fact that something that personifies evil and has for almost all of history is being invoked at a government meeting and is allowed into that government meeting. Now, you're right. You're right in that really we don't want to ban people. We don't want to ban people. So then what's the alternative? Because I went back and forth with this in my head and about, well, what do you do? Because like you said, he's going to say, well, I have a constitutional right. You let these people do it. Then I've got to do it too. You got to let me do it. So what do we do? Do we say, well, okay, fine, we'll let you pray in the name of Satan? Or do we say, sorry, no prayers at all before these meetings? Well, either way, they win. You following my mindset?
Yeah,
So the question then is, the question is, how do we stop something like this from happening?
well, and I don't know if necessarily, because I don't think that you're gonna win this case in a court because of free speech issues.
Yes,
What the thought process might be is, I wonder if we ask for a Christian invocation from a pastor, right? Will they resist that? Then we're really gonna know what their true intentions are, or where their thought process lies. I do challenge anybody who's watching, who's in the Reno area, take a look, because most of these things are public domain as far as watching these city council meetings. And we'd love to know anybody in your area, anybody out there who's watching this, you can look at some of the local meetings in your areas. Curious to see if you ever seen or have seen anything like this. Please send it to us. Let us know. We'd love to share it as an example as well. But I don't know. The tough thing, John, is much as you and I, because we're Christians, we see right through it. And I see as letting the devil on the doorstep.
yeah, exactly.
It's the tough part right now is that they're going to use the Constitution, and again, it's like we can't ban. If we ban everybody, then we got to, then I guess nobody can do that. Is that better than letting them there at all? Say no religious or no spiritual invocations of any kind is allowed. What would be the step to put a stop to something that invokes evil? I mean, what would you do?
Well, that's a good question. My thoughts. So you know me well enough. We've been friends for a long, long time, and you know that in essence, politically, I am libertarian. In other words, government just stay out of my. So stay the hell out, right? Now, however, there are things I think you need to stand up for. So the question then is, the question I pose to everybody is that where do we draw a line? In other words, we can say freedom of speech, and we can say he has a constitutional right to do it, but the Constitution also protects the citizenry from harm. So, therefore, if our country is full of moral, godly people, you would think that they would see this, but whether it's a spiritual issue or even a moral issue.
I think you hit around the head right there, though. We aren't in that place anymore. We have had a degradation of society.
Yes.
To the point where it has infiltrated leadership. It has infiltrated churches. I won't even get into the Catholic Church and what I saw the other day. We'll bring that video up of the insane LGBT video that I saw from a Catholic church. But beyond that, the degradation and the infiltration in our schools, churches, public domain leadership is amazing. And that's the problem, is that, we can resist and say that, but we won't have support of a large number of people who have bought into the ideals that it's okay to, just, and then I'm saying live and let live, but basically allow even what we know is evil, because there's been such a spiritual awakening of people that, we should allow all concepts and all ideas. No, some concepts are inherently evil, and
yes,
it's pretty obvious, but we've lost the idea of godliness or anything in our leadership, in our public domain, so that doesn't even exist. To them, it doesn't even. I would be shocked if they would allow a pastor to come in there and give that invocation. They'd probably have some issue with it, which is scary.
So let's do this, because I do have some things to say, but let's watch the second video.
Okay.
I'll explain what it is afterwards, because people are going to be looking at this like, why would they play this,
Mhm.
because it does tie in with what we're talking about with the first video.
All right, let's take a look. Let's see. Sorry, yeah, I lost you there. All right, let me upload this. This is a see. This is
Yeah.
a kind of a cartoon or an animation that you have loaded up here.
Yes.
In Hotel backstory. I'm gonna let it play out, and then we'll take it from there. I'm gonna let the whole video play. It's about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a glowing city protected by golden gates, known as heaven. It was ruled by beings of pure light, angels that worshipped good and shielded all from evil. Lucifer was one of these angels. He was a dreamer with fantastical ideas for all of creation, but he was seen as a troublemaker by the elders of heaven, for they felt his way of thinking was dangerous to the order of their world. So he watched as the angels began to expand the universe in their ways. From the dust of earth, they created Adam and Lilith, equals as the first of mankind. But despite this, Adam demanded control, and Lilith refused to submit to his will. She fled the garden. Drawn in by her fierce independence, Lucifer found her, and the two rebellious dreamers fell deeply in love. Together, they wished to share the magic of free will with humanity, offering the fruit of knowledge to Adam's new bride, Eve, who gladly accepted. But this gift came with a curse, for with this single act of disobedience, evil finally found its way into Earth. With it, a new realm of darkness and sin, and the order heaven had worked to maintain was shattered. As punishment for their reckless act, heaven cast Lucifer and his love into the dark pit he had created, never allowing him to see the good that came from humanity, only the cruel and the wicked. Ashamed, Lucifer lost his will to dream, but Lilith thrived, empowering demonkind with her voice and her songs, and as the numbers of hell grew, so did its power. Threatened by this, heaven made a truly heartless decision, that every year they would send down an army, an extermination, to ensure hell and its sinners could never rise against them. But Lilith's hope remained, and her dream was passed down to their precious daughter, the Princess of Hell.
Wow. All right.
All right. The reason why, first of all, I wanted to say this was recommended by a viewer. That's why I played it. I didn't just play it because a viewer recommended it. I thought it was interesting. But here's the context behind this. This isn't just some random video that somebody found in some.
Is Lilith part of the Bible in any way, or is this a made up?
That is a myth. It's not actually in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's a story that's made up by people who don't believe the Bible to explain Genesis.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, sorry.
That's the best. But this is why this is important. If this was just some random video that some guy made in class, then it almost wouldn't be worthy of putting on here. This is a brand new show that started airing in January on Amazon Prime.
On Amazon.
Yes.
Interesting. And is that just a clip from the movie, or is that the whole?
It's a show. It's a series.
Interesting. And it's called Hazbin Hotel Backstory.
Yeah, so the name of the show is Hazbin Hotel, and the backstory is what happened and why the show is what it is. In other words, basically, if you paid attention, what it's saying is God and the angels were terrible and closed-minded,
Right.
and Satan suffered because of it, and Satan really just wanted good.
Yeah, when they said rebellious, I thought, well, okay, maybe they're going to be talking negative about Satan and Eve, or sorry, Adam and Eve. But then I realized that they were saying kind of what you mentioned is, these angels got together and God did, and they prevented open-mindedness, and creativity of Satan to take hold. So the world is what it is because God, but hey, it could have been a whole lot
Yes.
better with Satan. So interesting. I've never seen this in animated style. The interesting thing is that there's a portion of it that I thought was kind of good, where it talks about, kind of paints him in a negative light, but then it kind of backtracks and right finishes off where
Yes.
Eve is supposed to be this precious, nice girl, but she's not. She's the reason we all are where we are today.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason why this ties into the first one, and the reason why I wanted to play it at this moment, is because what do we do to combat this? The opposite. See, what this is doing is educating people in a certain direction. In other words, constitutionally and just morally, it makes no sense to ban anything. Remember, we did a video recently, a few weeks ago, about banning the books.
Right.
And so we can't ban anything. I'm so libertarian that I don't believe any form of drug should be illegal. I know a lot of people like.
I don't disagree with you. I guess my on that would be a matter of, do we trust human nature and self-control? But that's a story for
Yes.
another day.
So my thoughts on things like banning drugs and things like this, or also apply here. Through education, we've seen people smoke a lot less, right? Granted, there's vaping now, but you don't see as many kids walking around smoking cigarettes, right? Remember back in the 80s with Nancy Reagan, just say no. In other words, education, right? If we lead by example, if we educate our children, we educate the world, not in a hateful, judgmental way, but in a way that's going to say, okay, I get it, right? But this is how we combat these things, because what we're seeing shows like this, and it's easy to say, oh, it's just a cartoon, yeah, it's just a TV show, but it's planting seeds. And if these things are allowed on there, try putting a Christian show like that on Amazon. It's not going to do any good.
No, I mean, actually, yeah. If you look at, I've noticed over the past 4 or 5 years, it's the messaging is either very left of center, or it's anti-Christian, or it is sort of grooming. But hey, this is okay. It's okay to like kids and
Yeah.
stuff, right? Pedophilia is okay, or all this stuff, right? It's an infiltration of evil. I mean, we have a sort of, we're being invaded by, and that's why you and I had this debate a while back about churches allowing people who are openly trans and this and that and flaunt it and whatever. And this is why I stood my ground on this one, is because, in my opinion, when you let evil in the door, even though it's the house of God, even you're still letting the devil in, and so that's a really big thing for me. I see my kids, and we're bombarded in society with the anti-Christian message, and that deviant behavior is okay, and churches, again, shockingly, I'll show you some videos next time of Catholic churches that they're guilty as charged, allowing this stuff, and really, I think, allowing the breakdown of the church and its connection with kids, and the importance of protecting our kids. I think it's a scary thing, because Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, they're all doing it, and it's scary because we can't protect our kids 100% of the time from seeing things, nor do I want to, but I also want to be able to know when danger's coming. But it's so hidden. Like, if a kid watches video, imagine their thoughts, and I can guarantee you it'll be in a school near you very soon, this video.
Oh, yeah.
or something.
Oh,
like-
absolutely.
So,
And that's the clean version.
yeah,
So because I don't want to get into this like debate, that we had earlier, right?
It's healthy, but it does make me think about that even more.
Yeah,
The city council meeting, letting.
yes. And okay, that's what I wanted to get into. I just wanted it to real quick to be known, right? That, my stance on the debate we were talking about is a little bit different, right? About allowing people in because I believe God, can love them and do some work there. But I don't want to move on. I don't want to spend the whole time on that.
I think we could spark a big public debate if we were to discuss that further later on. And you know what?
We can do a video on that if you.
You and I can go toe to toe all day long, and I'm still going to give you a hug. You're still my friend, and that's
Love you, buddy.
that's the message you want to send out to everybody too. Is this is an open forum, and we have a few viewers. We're just getting going. We want to invite you guys to like and subscribe the video and share it, because really, how often nowadays do we get a chance where everybody's either on this side or this side? You can't talk.
Yeah.
You and I have the conversation. Why can't we have that with everybody? Be able to sit down and debate and discuss things. It's healthy. And when we don't do it, is when we fall into traps of being like tribal or being not being
Yes.
ideas. So no, I mean, I will tell the viewers, John has been instrumental in getting me to the church and getting me to think about things differently. But I still have a mind of my own, and that's the key.
Yeah, and that's important. I think that you can't be a robot. So back to then the videos at hand. So, like I said at the beginning, from a religious, spiritual standpoint, the implications are obviously like terrible. But even if you're a non-believer, hell, let's pretend you're an atheist. The fact that a show like this is in cartoon form, appealing to children, promoting things that are evil, just the idea of evil, the idea of God who represents good, right? Being seen as negative, and the evil being shown as good.
I'm gonna have to watch more of these videos because, like I said, in my opinion, and as the as adults and other parents that I've seen, they're like, oh, it's just something for them to watch and blah blah blah, and then that over years and years, what that becomes is a slow indoctrination,
Yes.
and subliminal messaging, or even direct. But the kids see it as animation. They see it as, oh, we're just talking about something. But what happens is over time, and it,
Yes.
ingrained in them that this is reality, or and of course, they're going to show this in church because it looks cool, or they show this in class because it's cool, it's animation. Oh my gosh, how modern and blah blah. But it obviously has a negative effect, and my worry is my kids will be exposed to it. So,
and it gets better. I had a third video, but I decided for the sake of time not to bring it. This is the one that killed me. You can look it up. 2016, Pensacola, Florida, at the local school board meeting. Another satanic representative was allowed to give an invocation over the school board. Now,
I have one short video I want to show you just to change the tone a little bit. If it's unless you have more to talk about.
No. The only thing I wanted to add to that particular thing with Pensacola is that when parents objected and started praying the Lord's Prayer, they were kicked out and escorted out by security.
Oh, well, we've seen a lot of that when parents apparently aren't allowed to object to anything at school board meetings, even though we pay their salaries and it's freedom of speech. It's only freedom of speech if you agree with it, right?
All right, let's do it.
Got a short little video for you. And actually, it's just really, I'll pull it up here.
Let's see what we got going on.
All right, just real quick here.
You watched
Ooh,
the NBA All-Star game on Sunday. It was the second lowest rated NBA All-Star game of all time. And I'm starting to see, it took a long time, a lot of people out there tell you what I have been telling you for years, which is Adam Silver has destroyed the NBA brand. And he's done it in conjunction with LeBron James. I grew up in the NBA action is fantastic universe. In the 1980s and certainly during the 1990s, no one was a bigger fan of the NBA than me. Even into the early 2000s Kobe era, and even including the LeBron James, I'm taking my talents to South Beach era, I really loved watching the NBA. I don't know how many of you.
All right, so I wanted to stretch it real quick, and the reason I bring that up is you and I both. I'm LA, you're Boston, right?
yes.
NBA cities. I agree with him. I have not watched an NBA game in a long time, and my feeling is that Adam Silver and LeBron, with their politics and their wokeism and everything else, have ruined the NBA. And I think when Kobe died, the NBA died with it. And it's sad because I grew up with my kids watching basketball and having that family time, and I can't even watch it anymore. I cannot even watch it anymore.
You are a big time basketball fan. Now, I grew up as a huge Celtics fan. So I loved basketball as a kid.
Robert Parrish, Larry Bird.
Yes.
You know.
But I was watching a video today, as a matter of fact, talking about this same subject. I can't remember the guy's name. He's an older guy, pretty famous. Anyway, he was talking, having a conversation with somebody, and they came to the conclusion that, except for baseball, all all-star or all-pro games should be canceled. And the only reason why baseball shouldn't be canceled because those guys actually come out and play.
Yeah.
Well, like football, the all-pro game, the football all-pro game is
football, really flag football.
It's flag football, and it's being coached by Peyton and Eli. And these guys made a very good point. If you really love the game that you're playing, the sport that you're playing, then you should be out there giving 100% all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. The All-Star games, we used to see guys really compete. And in the NBA, like, you used to have Jordan and Kobe, those guys in the slam dunk contest. You haven't seen LeBron do it since his first year, right? He's supposed to be the face of the NBA. It's a disgrace to me because fans are paying for this guy, his politics and all his garbage. And all we do is jack up three-pointers all day long. They don't play basketball anymore. They don't play defense. So LeBron could still score 20 points, probably half asleep. But the NBA is destroyed, I think. I really do.
There was there was a guy talking about how LeBron doesn't enter the slam dunk contest. Jordan did it. All these guys did it. I think Kobe did, right? Kobe, you're a Kobe fan.
Dominique Wilkins, all those guys.
The human highlight reel, Dominique.
Remember the 1987 slam dunk, Dominique versus Jordan in the fight? I mean, head to head. That's what fans wanted, right? All they do is market. They market to China, and we don't even, it's no longer an American product.
Oh, I went to China for work about 12, 13 years ago. And LeBron's face was everywhere. Everywhere. Every building had pictures of LeBron. And did you hear about this? And this ties into this subject as well, that the players are getting mad because they're trying to negotiate a lower minimum games played clause. In other words,
don't play 82 games anyway. Most of them take a night off here and there. When did Jordan or Kobe ever take nights off? It's crazy.
What if Larry Bird had taken nights off?
Dude, Larry Bird put his own mother's driveway, and that's how he hurt his back.
Yeah, he hurt his back. remember he was playing, I want to say it was against the Lakers or was it the Rockets? He slammed his face off the floor. He broke his orbital socket and then came back after the half.
Yeah, and scored 15 more points. So the thing is that I think we've lost the work ethic of the NBA. It's all marketing, money, TV deals. Look at me, look at my Instagram, look at my whatever. I feel bad because not only have we lost the church in our society, we've lost the work ethic and the great things that made us great. So I'm hopeful for hockey and football and baseball to get comeback. To me, and this is Satan is alive and the NBA is dead. I'm sorry.
You know what? I agree. Here's the thing, and you and I have had this discussion. What'd you say?
30 seconds.
No. All right. So I'll try to make this quick.
All right.
In order to play a professional sport, you need to have certain physical and mental attributes. These mental attributes and physical attributes can be applied to other areas of life, like being a police officer, like being a firefighter, like being a leader in any form, a lawyer.
Yeah.
So, but the parents and coaches push their kids into these things.
Yeah.
And what you got now is a bunch of rich spoiled kids who have no idea how to handle the money and fame that they have.
Well, I do suggest everybody looks back at these videos, watch them a couple times, give us your feedback on them. John, we'll have to like and subscribe and share it. Love having a conversation with you, John. We'll see you later. We'll upload the video soon, and everybody have a great week, great month. Talk to you later.
Peace.